Hello Crafty family, it's Dee and we are at week 10 of my kiddie pool gardening series. Now we're going to start off with our tomato plants, and as you see they're still really lush and green, and I'm also seeing a lot of tomato production. And I'm finally seeing those cherry tomatoes turn a bright golden yellow, and the pear tomatoes and some Marizanos have not turned yet, but I am patiently waiting for those to ripen as well. And here are my husky tomato bushes. Those are still doing well, and I also have a few red ones on the vine, and I can't wait for those to turn as well. Now here are my zucchini bushes. Now they have been tossed and turned with rough weather, and I've been giving them the nutrients that they need, but I need to check for borers. But as you can see, they are still producing lots of zucchini. And here are my blue lake bush beans. I finally have so many flowers on these, and I am very excited to finally see my first beans on these. And here are a small cluster here, and I have a few other clusters, so I'm really excited to finally see my beans. And here are all of my pepper plants, and they are still continuing to do well. And I haven't seen any more Japanese beetles, which is good. Here are my banana peppers here. And I also have lots of clusters of green bell peppers that will eventually turn purple. And here are my snacking peppers. They're still green, but they will be bright orange when they're ready to harvest. And here is an overview of the garden. So now we're 3 days later, and I'm coming out to check on my garden. It has been raining extremely heavy this week. So what I had to do is actually pull those plugs out that I put in earlier in the week, so the pools will drain, because they were accumulating quite a bit of water, and we don't want a whole lot of water. So I came out to check on my zucchini. It doesn't look like I have as many yellow leaves, but it's still looking kind of touch and go, so I do need to check those. And my beans and peppers are still thriving. And here's what everything looks like in the middle of the week. And this is my midweek harvest. And just a few things this week. Lots of cherry tomatoes, of course. I've got some zucchini, and I've also got a couple of tomatoes. And now we approach the end of the week. Now we have had, like I said, a lot of severe thunderstorms, so you can see my tomato bushes are looking a little disheveled because of all the wind and the rain, but it's still looking like it's doing well. It's got a lot of, look at all those tomatoes I've got to harvest. So I'm going to be harvesting a lot of those today and checking everything out. Everything seems to be looking very good with the tomato bushes. And here are my husky tomatoes, and they're doing well. Now I am still continuing to get lots and lots of production on these two husky tomato plants that I planted. And here are my zucchini bushes. I did check one bush, and I did see a little evidence of some deterioration on the stem. So I'll have to dig a little deeper to see if it's actually a squash vine borer. But like I said, they get me every year. And here are my blue lake bush beans, and they're still doing well. And I have lots of little beans on there. So hopefully I will see some that I'll be able to harvest within the next couple of weeks. And here are all of my pepper bushes at the end of the week, and it looks like we'll be harvesting some of those banana peppers on the bush, because I have quite a few of those. Those are so awesome on salads. And I do have a few of the bell peppers that I'll be harvesting, and I'm actually going to cook a meal with those. And here are my snacking peppers, still hanging in there and still green, so I am waiting for those to ripen. And here is the overview of the garden at the end of the week. Now I did a little investigation and I did find some tomato blossom end rot, and this is what it will look like. At the end of like some Marizano or Roma tomatoes, you'll see this really dark spot, and what will happen is it'll start to progress throughout the whole fruit. And I found one that was hiding underneath the bush that was really bad. So this would indicate that you have a calcium deficiency in your plant. So I'm going to try to take some measures to give the plant some calcium in order to prevent this. So what I'm going to do is I have here just some tap water in a gallon jug, and I blended up some eggshells into like a powder in my blender, and this is a great source of calcium for your plants. So I blended those up, chopped those up, and I have my funnel. So what I'm initially going to do is I'm going to add some of these ground up eggshells to my water, and I'm not going to put all of them. I'm going to put maybe 2 or 3 spoonfuls, and the only reason I'm doing this part is because I want to try to get some of that calcium from that eggshell powder into the water and mix it in, so when I put it into the plant, it'll be like almost an immediate delivery down into the roots instead of sitting it on top of the soil waiting for it to be absorbed by the plant. So I'm just gonna put 2 or 3 big heaping spoonfuls in there and then shake this up to try to get those mixed in. And of course they're eggshells, they won't completely dissolve, but that powdery mix will just kind of blend in with that water, and it'll provide kind of a way for the delivery of that calcium to get to the roots. And once that's mixed, I'm just gonna pour some at the very stem of each one of my tomato plants. And then after I do that, I'm going to take the actual ground up shell powder and I'm just going to sprinkle that around the stem of the plant into the soil. And this will continue to absorb and feed the plant. With all the rain and all the weather, it should absorb over time and hopefully give that plant the nutrients it needs to stop that blossom end rot from occurring. And I also put this in my husky tomato plant. And you can see all of that eggshell chopped up at the base of the plant. So we will hope over the next few weeks we will stop seeing the process of the blossom end rot, and we can have some great Roma and Marizano. Now look, we still have lots of zucchini, so I have so many. So what do you do with all of it? Well, you just bake some zucchini bread, and that's exactly what I did, and it was delicious. You have to Google a recipe. It's awesome. So the end of week 10, this is my harvest. Okay, I have a ton of cherry tomatoes. I have bell peppers. I have husky tomatoes, and I also have lots of zucchini and yellow banana peppers. Now this doesn't even include what I have eaten over the week, and I've eaten a ton of vegetables in my salad or in stir fries, so I am so happy about this. Now listen, you guys, if you love to garden or you're planning to garden, let me know in the comments what you plan to grow. Now I want to thank each and every one of you for following my gardening journey, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next gardening video in this